Today I got a couple customs from one of my favorites, Furch guitars. These are two rainbows that are very, very different from each other. But I'm going to use them to talk about why Furch can do what a lot of your favorite guitar companies cannot do. Stick around. How's it going, y'all? This is Cooper Greenberg here at Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos, comment on the videos, do all that stuff, and check out our podcast. I can say that in good faith now because we've had some new ones come out, or at least one new one. And it's on video now, and it's on the channel, so if you haven't seen it, you haven't heard it before, go check it out. It's a good time. Hear me and Chris talk about a bunch of random stuff. And our next episode, we will be shooting soon, I hope, where we talk about our trip to the Furch Factory. We went to the Czech Republic last week. He is still abroad, and so that's why I'm doing this by myself. But we got a lot of fun stories to tell about that trip. That'll be on the podcast. But luckily, these very cool rainbows came in and kind of right in time for us to take that trip. I already liked the guitars. I totally fell in love with the guitars after the trip, and so it's a good way to kind of talk about what they can do, what they have done, and what I'd like to do with them. Both of these are customs that they do in their Rainbow series. So if you know anything about Furch guitars, yes, they have the vintage collection, they have the Little Janes, but kind of their main line of guitars are all named after colors. So you go from the violet and the green and the blue and the yellow and the orange and the red, and it kind of, acts like any other sort of guitar brand series. It kind of goes up in the appointments and the woods that they use and everything that you get along with the guitar. And then when you get the Rainbow series, that's their kind of bespoke customs. So both of these are customs. I'm going to talk about them individually, starting with this OM. So this is definitely a little more vintage inspired. This is the OMTE is the kind of nomenclature on it. The T, usually on any Furch guitar you'll see, say, blue GC SM or something like that. You'll see the body shape, and then the second two characters will denote the woods. So OM's body shape, dash, TE. T is for aged spruce. Now that might be just a number that's assigned to it. It might mean torrefied. But either way, the spruce on top of this is going to be aged, whether that's heat treated or whatever. The T is for aged spruce. So you got a nice spruce top, and the E stands for ebony. So this is kind of one of my first points on why Furch can do things that other guitar companies can or won't do or are not able to do at the time. It has been a really long time since we've seen ebony back and sides on a guitar. It's not totally foreign to us. Taylor had some incredible kind of ebony series guitars. We had some E14s for a while. Chris McKee has a custom that he did that has ebony back and sides. But there are woods that Furch has access to that they have in stock that they're making guitars with, typically on the custom line, but sometimes in the red collection, they'll have Cocobolo back and sides. It's not all the time that they have Cocobolo, but they have a lot more Cocobolo than anybody else. And so ebony, very welcome kind of tone wood that we have not had in the store for a very long time. I like ebony. I think that it's got a really cool profile, definitely kind of a rich sound that you'd expect from something like rosewood. The look itself is incredible. A lot of times we see that variegated sort of figured ebony look on fingerboards now, whether it be on Taylor's 800 series, you'll pretty much all the time see the coloration that you see here. Martin, you've been seeing more and more. And that's partially because of availability, right? So not everything can have a jet black fingerboard anymore. However, I would not want jet black on the back and sides of a guitar. I want to see something nice. This is an incredible set right here. And I love ebony. So binding on here is going to be maple, ebony fingerboard, and bridge. I like that they did the kind of block inlay on the fingerboard because it's just kind of harkens to this old school sort of look. It's got Gotoh 510s. It's got ebony on the head plate overlay, and it's got a nice kind of herringbone rope style purfling on the top. Very, very cool guitar. Really hi-fi, crisp sound, but has all the depth. It's got a warm sound from the top, the aged spruce, and it's got the nice ebony kind of EQ on the back and sides. And now for something completely different, this is a Rainbow GC KK. So the G is going to be Grand Auditorium, C, Cutaway, and the KK obviously is Koa Koa. This looks a little more familiar of stuff that we show often and that we get a little bit more of. Obviously, the GA body style here with the cutaway, it harkens towards a Taylor kind of vibe. And yes, it's all Koa. It's going to be a great sound that you're kind of familiar with, very sweet kind of Koa sort of vibe. One thing that this guitar, I think, sort of exemplifies of what other guitar makers can't do or won't do. I mean, it's not like Furch is the only brand to do this, but this one does have the bevel duo. Now, I've said forever since we've gotten these guitars, duo bevels. And then I learned at the factory that that is not what it's called. It's called the bevel duo. So you got the bevel up here where your arm sits, and you've also got the belly cut bevel on the back. This is done in rosewood, so it's rosewood bound, and then the bevel duo is also done in rosewood. Otherwise, you're looking at a pretty straight up all Koa Grand Auditorium guitar. Got the nice ornamental inlay on the fingerboard that is ebony and ebony on the bridge. And then this one also has Gotoh 510s. I will say the bevel duo is a thing that has drawn a lot of people to Furch guitars in the store, and we've seen it on Red Deluxes. Anytime you see a deluxe in a Furch model, that will typically mean that it comes with the bevel duo. So we sell a lot of Red Deluxes, be they rosewood back and sides or cocobolo back and sides, with the bevel duo, but they've brought it all the way down. It's been in the Blue Deluxe, which it was before, but now it's available in the Violet series. So their entry-level line, you can get the bevels, which I just think is very, very cool. And it's the type of thing that some people don't love it. They don't love the look of it. They don't see the use in it. Other people love the comfort of it, and that's kind of why you see all these brands doing the bevels, is at least like for that arm overlay right there. It's very comfortable, and it's just something nice that they do. So you got tonewoods that they have access to, that they're building great guitars out of. You've got the bevel duo, and I will talk a little bit more on the other side about some of the R&D that I kind of got to see. We'll go in depth more in the podcast. However, I want you to hear both of these. This is going to be a classic Koa top back and sides sounding guitar. Very sweet, but also just a nice crisp pushing through of sound. And on the ebony, it's got a sound that I equate to a very old school type thing, sort of a little more Martin leaning, but with kind of a unique tone with pairing with the ebony. Take a listen. There you have it, a little taste on the Furch Rainbow guitars. Now, this is not all that they do. If you've ever been to their website, it's got a very fun configurator. We've had customers do it, we've done it ourselves, where you go through, you pick all the options, you get a code, you send it in to these guys, they'll make the guitar for you. And there are a lot of things on there that you will not find anywhere else, and a lot of things that they will do that I think is a product of how small but advanced the company is. So they have a lot of incredible new age technology, but also a small factory, a small staff. Everybody that's been there is an expert craftsperson, and we got to see it firsthand. Blew me away what they do over there. And yeah, we will talk more about it on the podcast. I will just say that some of the rainbows that we picked from that show and that event are coming in. They're going to be very different than these, but really, really cool guitars. And I will finish by saying one thing that they can do that others cannot is offer the guitars at the price that they do. And I don't necessarily know how they're doing that, because it's high quality wood, it is a ton of hands-on work, and they're in Europe, they're in the Czech Republic, and so you have to factor that in. They're coming over here to the United States. That just makes things more expensive to begin with. But let's say you take a bevel duoed, if anybody else could do it, Alcoa guitar that plays this good, that's set up this well, that is built this incredibly with the go-tos and everything, and a hard shell case. And then over here you take an OM with an aged spruce top and ebony back and sides. I think that we're kind of accustomed to guitars of these specs coming in at much higher prices. Now, they're not cheap guitars. This one, the Ebony OM, sitting right about $4,300, and the Alcoa GA, I believe, you can check our website, but I think it's around $6,300. But you take into account comparable guitars from American manufacturers, these would be much more expensive. So I think that they're doing really cool stuff. I think that their standard production line guitars and their offerings are pretty hard to beat in any comparison against larger manufacturers. But from what I saw at the factory and how they make them and how cool the factory is, how nice the people are and the family and everything, it's given me a whole new appreciation for these guitars. So if you like these and you want to learn more in-depth specs, go to our website, alamomusic.com. You can find both of these with all the photography and everything. That's where you're going to check these out. If you're interested in making a rainbow for yourself, you can contact us. You can go to the Furch website, fill out the configurator, send us the code. We can help you get one. And if you want to see some footage from our trip, if you want to be the first to know about the other guitars that we picked out from there, both rainbows and some new releases that have really, really cool forward-thinking features on them, you know, subscribe to the channel, but also you can send us an email, chat with us, call us. I would love to talk to you about what I saw there. I think a strength of theirs is that they're making stuff with tried and true kind of techniques, modern technology to make it really, you know, consistent with quality. But they're investing a lot in research and development to make even better guitars, and I just think we'll see some very, very cool things from them. So if you want cool tone woods that you can't find many other places at a price that's going to be hard to beat, Furch Guitars is for you. We've got them. Come to Alamo Music Center, go to the website, get in touch with us, and yeah, we'd love to help you out. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.